Hi everyone, I'm Dahlia. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you the books that I'm currently reading and then the books that I plan on reading this winter. I usually don't post like monthly TBRs, but I think I want to post one just for this winter in general, like for the next few months, because I am going to be home for 5 weeks from college, and so I want to use this time to get as much reading as possible. And I think my pile is actually pretty ambitious. I highly doubt that I'll be able to get to all the books that I want to read, but I at least want to get like a good chunk of reading done that I know I won't get the chance to do once I'm back in college. And so the first books that I'm going to show you are the books that I'm currently reading. The first one is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and this is a book I just got like a week ago, and I am about 230 pages in, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I think one thing you'll notice in this video is that I am craving very fat, high fantasy reads, and so this is something that caught my eye in the bookstore and I just grabbed it right away without hesitating. I just knew that I would be in a Brandon Sanderson mood, and I totally am, and it's really good so far. It's very captivating and all the characters are so intriguing, and I don't know, the world is just so fascinating and unique, and so I've been just having fun reading this book. And yes, it's a giant monster book, but I have faith in myself. This one I will definitely finish before winter is over, because I've only started it like 2 days ago and I've gotten like a good chunk into it, so we'll see how this goes. And then the other book that I'm currently reading is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I'm actually reading this out loud with my sister like at night times, like when we're in bed. And it's really, you know, this is one of my favorite historical fictions of all time, and I really wanted to read it to her so that, I mean, she's my younger sister, and like sometimes I have to like explain like some of the things that are going on, but she's absolutely loving it too. And we've been reading this for a while, especially since I've been in college. We haven't been able to like finish it, but like little by little we're getting there. So this isn't like a priority to finish over winter, but something that would be like ideal. So yeah. And then the next two books are books that I would want to read after I was done with The Way of Kings, and that is the Yawn Duology by Alison Goodman. And I've only read these books one time, but they are books that I really want to reread because they're so good. They are about this girl, her name's Yawn. Well, in the first book, she is Yawn, what am I saying? Yeah, she's Yawn, and she wants to become a Dragonite apprentice, but the only thing is that they only allow males to do that, so she has to dress the part of a male. And basically she, like, something unexpected happens, and a dragon that has been missing for 500 years claims her, and so then, I don't know, this whole world is just so interesting, and I loved it, and explored a lot of things, you know, the boundaries between gender and, you know, all that, and it's just really cool, and I really liked it. And it's the kind of fantasy that I feel like you just don't see those kinds of themes in fantasy that often, especially in high fantasy, so I really do enjoy that aspect. And obviously these books are action-packed, and so I'm looking forward to reading these. Then the next book that I want to get was actually a gift from a teacher that I had in high school. She was my Spanish teacher. It's called El Tiempo Entre Costuras by Maria Dueñas, and I have no idea what this book is about. I wish I could tell you, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a really pretty cover, and I feel like it's going to be a historical fiction kind of thing, because the last book she recommended me was A Shadow of the Wind, and I read it in the original Spanish language, and it was so good. And so I think because I loved it so much, she recommended me another one, and she just sent it to me via my brother, who currently attends my high school, and so that was very nice of her. And I really want to read this winter, and then try to visit her at some point while I'm home. So yeah. And then The next book that I want to read is one of my all-time favorite books, and that is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I absolutely am a sucker for Greek mythology, and this is kind of like a retelling of the Trojan War from the perspective of Patroclus, who is Achilles' closest companion, and there is some LGBTQ plus aspects in this book, and I mean, most of the story takes place while their friendship and relationship is blossoming, and then it ends with the events of the Trojan War, and it's just a very beautiful story, very heart-wrenching, and I just want to read it again so badly. This book left me in pieces, basically. So yeah. Then these next two items are things that I think I would want to get to like more towards the end of winter, or like more like after January-ish. That's where I'm planning to read these next books. So the first is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and it's just the trilogy. So it would be Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. Oh, I could take off the covers. Why not? So here's the first one. This would be the second one, and then this would be the third one. And as you saw from the first book that I showed you, I am in a very big mood to read something by Brandon Sanderson because I read his Mistborn trilogy last winter and I absolutely loved these books, and so yeah, I really want to reread them. I think it's high time that I reread them. I feel like it's going to be some through the books I'm going to be rereading over and over and over again every year, because I am a huge rereader, and I feel like that's something you should know about me, because you might be seeing some of the same books appear on my channel, not all the time, but like from time to time. Don't be surprised, like, yeah. And then the last book is another book that I want to reread because I feel like it's been a couple years since I've reread it, and it's The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now this is one hefty book, and the words are printed very tiny, so yeah, it's like a very ambitious read, but again, I want to save this more towards like the end of winter. I don't plan on finishing it necessarily, but I do want to like get at least a good chunk of it read, because like I really miss Middle Earth and the world that J.R.R. Tolkien created, and I love the characters in the story. And I have read The Hobbit, and I love that too, but I've read The Hobbit, or I should say reread The Hobbit, more than I have The Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I want to give this another go because I just love it so much. And fun fact, my favorite character in this story is Samwise Gamgee. I think he's the greatest character ever, and he's so brave in such like a non-traditional way, and I just love it. But yeah, those are all the books that I want to get into this winter. Like I said, I don't plan on finishing all of them necessarily because they're all like really big books. And I just decided that, you know, it doesn't matter how many of the books I actually read, but like the quality, and then like how much I actually read is like, you know, it could just even be like one giant 1,000-page book, so I'm fine with that. And maybe I can bring whatever's remaining back to school with me and just finish it little by little between homework and studying, and, you know, just to have an incentive. And yeah, and last thing I want to touch on in this video is this scarf. It's a homemade Gryffindor themed scarf that my grandma made for Christmas, and you know, I'm just so happy, and I love her so much for making this. I mean, I love her already, but like, she did it justice, and I love it. But yeah, that is it. I hope you have a very good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!